Ai, aloha ho mai kako e na ohana. Welcome back to another Haʻawina ʻŌlelo Hawaiʻi. So let's jump right into it. Oh yeah. Na pahu hopu of this week is helu ekahi e a'o I ka pepeke painu no ka wā I hala. And we do this by using two markers, ua and I, to indicate that an action has taken place. So we're going to learn more about that in this ha'awina. Helu e lua e hoʻomaʻamaʻa I nā hua ʻōlelo o ke alakau. We're going to incorporate our vocabulary list of alakau or various modes of transportation into our ha'awina, as well as build upon all of the previous lessons that we had thus far into the sentence structures that we're going to take a look at tonight using the māka painu, ua, and I. So with that said, e hoʻomaua ku kākou. All right, pepeke painu with hehele and hamani using the māka painu, ua. Ho'opili mai, ua, mai ka'i. So when we use the word ua with hehele and hamani verbs, it indicates an action or condition as completed. So you can think of it as past tense or the meaning of something has happened or have happened or things have happened. So keep this in mind as we look at the various examples that we have here today in this ha'awina. All right, so here is our first example. So let's take a look at this and see if we can figure out the translation. Okay, so keep in mind ua indicates an action or a condition as completed. All right, let's take a look at this example. All right, ua lele mai homoku lele o leo I waimea. All right, so let's break this down. Ua lele mai. Remember now, ua indicates an action or a condition as completed. So lele, which usually means to fly, in this case means flew, right? It already happened. The flying already took place. Okay, then we have the word mai, which is a hunikuhi, a directional, and it again, hunikuhi makes Hawaiian. So let's not forget that. Okay, so what are we talking about here? What is the piko of this sentence? It is kamoku lele. Ai, kamoku lele. It is a mokulele that belongs to someone because we have a phrase that shows possession, which is ʻŌlelo. In other words, Leo's mokulele, yeah, or the mokulele belonging to Leo. Where did it fly to? We have the ami kuleana, right? The E that indicates a movement towards somewhere. And where is this somewhere? Ai, waimea. Okay. So the sentence is saying the plane of Leo flew here to Waimea. Okay, maikai. So we're seeing that how if we didn't have the word ua and it just said lele mai komoku lele o Leo I Waimea, it would mean that the plane of Leo flies here to Waimea. There's no tense involved. Yeah, there's no indication of an action that has been completed. It's just saying that the plane of Leo flies to Waimea, flies here to Waimea. Okay, but as soon as we add the word ua to the beginning in the po'o position, and notice that it gives us the indication of time in the po'o position. So right now we can see ua lele, yeah, something went lele, and it already happened, yeah. What was that? The mokulele, okay, of who? Leo. To where? To Waimea. All right, so this is how we use the word ua. Let's take a look at another example. Ua kauae o pualani I ke ka'ahi. All right, so ua indicates an action or a condition that's being completed. What was that action in the po'o? Kau, yeah, to get onto something. To kauae, we're using the hunikuhi again to make it more beautiful. What did pualani get onto? Ai, ke ka'ahi. Ke ka'ahi is another mode of transportation. It's in your vocabulary list. So ua kauae, o pualani got onto something. Ke ka'ahi. So let's check our answer. Ai, pualani got onto the train. Ka'ahi is train. Pualani is the piko of the sentence. And ua kauae, she got onto the train. These are two first examples to explain how we use ua. And again, ua indicates an action or a condition as completed, sometimes referred to as past tense, and often has the mana'o of has happened or have happened. All right, so meikai, we kind of get an idea of how we use ua to indicate when something has already happened. All right, ho'omaʻamaʻa. Let's hoʻomaʻamaʻa our pepeke painu with hehele and hamani, using the word ua to indicate that the action has happened. Here's our first fun example. Yeah. My grandmother bathed in front of my helicopter. Okay. So we have grandmother, my grandmother. That would be ko'ukupuna wahine. Bathed would be, to bathe would be au au, right? But when since it's already happened, it would be ua au au iho, mamua o, mamua of something. Yeah, mamua o in front of what? My helicopter. So the word for helicopter is helikopa. And we know how to say my, which is ko'u. So ua au au iho. Yeah, we're adding in the hunekuhi again. Ua au au iho. Who did the action? Ko'u kupuna wahine. Yeah, my grandmother. Where did this take place? Mamuao. What? What was the object? Ho'u helikopa. My helikopa. Okay. Maikai. It's a fun sentence indeed. Second sentence is she bathed her son in front of his sister. Of course, we have to begin with ua. Yeah. Ua ho au au waku. Right. We have the directional again away from the speaker. Yeah. Towards someone else. Ua ho au au waku. She did the bathing. So we're gonna use the papani ia marked by okina o. Yeah. So oya. What is receiving the action of being given a bath? I kana keiki kane. Yeah. The keiki kane, her son. I kana keiki kane. Where is this taking place? Mamua o in front of who? Kona Kaikuahine, his sister. So the next one is a question. It's a ni no. And there's an intonation that we need to follow. So we're not going to talk too much about intonation right now. Pay attention to the intonation of asking the question of how it should sound. All right. So here we go. So you two got on the bus. Another way of saying this question is, did you two get on the bus? Because I told you guys get on the bus. Did you two guys get on the bus? All right. So this is in Hawaiian. To get onto something is to kau. And so we can add the hune kuhi aku to give it more directional in space and time. So kauaku, ua kauaku. What was you two again? The papani helulua for you two. I olua. What are they going to get onto? Ike ka'a ohua. Yeah, the ka'a ohua. If we remember from the last time, the bus. All right. So this is the question. Did you two get on the bus? Ua kauaku olua ike ka'a ohua. This is an example of a question, yeah, of asking someone if they did something, if the action was completed. So we have three different examples here of the pepeke painu um, with hehele and hamani verbs using ua to indicate a completed action. All right, so now we're going to use the same sentences, but we're going to ho'ole. We're going to learn how to negate these sentences. And we learn about negating in the last Haʻawina. And we did that by adding the word ʻaʻole. So if you remember correctly, ʻaʻole comes up in the front and we have the rest of the sentence, right? From an affirmative sentence, we would now change it to a negative sentence using the word ʻaʻole. Whenever we negate, we use e as opposed to ua. E indicates an action or a condition as completed. And this is what it looks like. All right. So we have ua lele mai ka mokulele o Leo I Waimea, right? What was that again? Leo, right? Leo's plane flew here to Waimea, right? We're going to negate that, and it's going to look like this. A ole I lele mai ka mokulele o Leo I Waimea. The change is that we put a ole in there, And to indicate that it hasn't happened, right? The action was not completed, we have to have the marker e there. A'ole I lele. We wouldn't say a'ole ualele. That is not how we indicate an action or condition has been completed in the negative form. When we say a'ole, something didn't happen, it is a'ole I, and then the rest of the sentence. Okay, so for example, one more time, ualele mai kamokulele oleo I waimea, and we negate it by saying a'ole I lele mai kamokulele oleo I waimea. The next example, ua kauae o pualani I ke ka'aahi, the ua changes to I. Okay, a'ole I kauae o pualani I ke ka'aahi. Pololei. ʻAʻole I kauae o pualani I ke ka'aahi. Once again, ʻaʻole I is indicating that the action was not completed. All right. Mai ka iloa. Hoʻomaʻamaʻa kākou. All right, so this is going to be like a quick exercise to kind of see if we're on track and on point. All right, the first example is ua ho'opio aku, okay, ke keiki, iki kukui, maka mo peka. All right, in the po'o position, we have the tense that it's has been identified, the action and the tense, right? So this is ua. So ho'opio, ai ho'opio aku. Okay, ho'opio means to extinguish something. All right, aku again is the hunikuhi, giving us a sense of direction. The person who did this, the action, yeah, the people who did the action is keiki. All right, what did the keiki ho'opio? Yeah, what did the keiki ho'opio extinguished or turned off? It is the kukui, ike kukui. Yeah, the light. Well, ike kukui on what? Maka mo peka. Okay, maka mo peka. Mo peka is one of our modes of transportation in our papahua ʻŌlelo. So let's take a look at this. And you go ahead and put the translation down. So the child, the keiki, ho'opio aku. The keiki turned off, or the keiki deactivated, or the keiki put out something. What was that something? Ke kukui, a light maybe, ana mopeka. Maka mopeka, on the mopeka. All right, so if you put down in the pahu kole kole, the child turned off the light on the moped, you're a polole. Okay, you're a polole maika iloa. To negate that, we just add the word ʻaʻole, and the ua, which we have in the affirmative sentence, changes to e. And all it's saying is the negative of what we already stated. So, ʻaʻole I hoʻopio aku, ke keiki, I ke kukui, yeah, maka mopeka. All right, maikai. Very simple. Yeah. All right, let's try to see if we can translate the next one, the next affirmative sentence. Ua kuae. Somebody went kuae. Something is about standing up. Yeah, well, stood up or stop. Well, who is the piko of this sentence? Ka'ukane. Mai kane. Where? Ma'ane imai. Ma'ane imai. So we have ma'anei indicates the place. Mai is the directional of what? O ke ka'apolia. O ke ka'apolia. Okay, ka'apolia is another mode of transportation and from our papahua ʻŌlelo. So if you said, my husband, or ka'ukane, my husband, stood on this side of the ambulance, then you are maikai. Yeah, so ma'ane'imai means on this side of what? Of ke ka'apolia. Okay, so my husband stood up, stood on this side of the ka'apolia of the ambulance. So in order to negate that, again, we add on the word ʻaʻole, and ua changes to e, and the sentence would now be ʻaʻole I kuaʻe, ka'ukane, ma'ane I mai, o ke ka'apolia. Okay, maikai. My kane did not stand on this side of the ka'apolia of the ambulance. Okay? Mai ka'i. Next one. Ua ho'opili mai o ka leo nani ya maua. Okay? All right, so in this case, ho'opili means to mimic or to imitate. So this is what I'm thinking. Ua ho'opili mai. Yeah. Somebody imitated or mimicked someone else. Okay. Who did the mimicking or imitating? Ai, Kaleo Nani. And who was Kaleo Nani imitating or mimicking? Yamaua. Yeah, us too. So, ua ho'opili mai o Kaleo Nani Yamaua. Kaleo Nani, now put this in the chat box if you already got it. You should have put down Kaleo Nani imitated or mimicked Yamaua, us two, or us. Yeah, Yamaua, us two guys. And again, to negate that, all we do is add the word ʻaʻole in the front, followed by e to take the place of ua in the negative form, and everything else stays the same. ʻaʻole I hoʻopili mai o ka leo nani Yamaua. Right? Kaleo Nani did not imitate or mimic us two. Okay, mai ka'i. All right. Again, ho'omau, ua au iho, ho'u kupuna wahine, mamua o ko'u hele kopa. Now we're going to negate it, and all we have to do is add the word a'ole, and then use e to indicate that the action has been completed. All right. We don't say a'ole ua, we say a'ole I au iho, ho'u kupuna wahine, mamua o ko'u hele kopa. My grandmother did not take a bath in front of my helicopter. Okay. All right. The second example is again from the previous slide. Ua ho'au aku oya, I kana keiki kane, mamua o kona kai kuahine. Okay. So he or she gave someone a bath. Ho'au means to give someone else a bath, right? Or to bathe something or someone. Who was that who received the action of being bathed? Kana keiki kane, ai, his or her son, where or in front of who? Mamua o Hona Kaikuahine, his sister. All right. And again, to negate that, we use aole, but remember the last time we had the rule about papani. Yeah. And again, the rule is that when the papani is the pico of a sentence, right, or the subject of the sentence, lele ka papani imua, right? Lele ka pico imua, the subject or the papani in this case jumps up in front, and then we put the word e after that. All right, so let's negate this one. Ole oya, and then we have the e now. The e replaces ua. Ole oya, I ho au awaku, I kana keiki kane, mamua o kona kaikuahine. Yeah. So aole comes first because it's a papani. It follows aole. So aole oya. Do we say e or ua? Holole, we say e. Aole oya I ho au aku I kana keiki kane mamua o kona kaikuahine. She did not give her son a bath in front of his sister. Okay. Ua kawaku olua I ke ka'au ohua. Hey, did you two guys get on top the bus? Right? Did you guys board the bus? Did you guys get on the bus? To negate that, again, what is the pico of this sentence? Ah, it's a papani. Yeah, it's olua. Yeah, you two. So we know that means that olua will have to follow the word aole when we negate. Yeah, followed by e because we don't put ua in the negative form. We use the word e. So aole olua I kawaku ike ka'o ohua. Okay, so the first question is, did you guys get on the bus? And maybe the two guys said, no, we never get on the bus. We missed the bus, uncle. And then the uncle says, ole olua I kawaku ike ka'o ohua. Oh, wait, those two guys, they never get on the bus. So a quick review. When we negate, we just put the word aole, and then followed by E to indicate that the action has been completed. And then everything else stays the same. However, if it is a papani, papani will jump up in front after the word ʻaʻole and then followed by the marker, yeah, the E. Okay, mai ka iloa. Ane ane pau e na ohana. Here we go. We're going to take a look at pepeke painu with ʻaʻano verbs using ua. With an ʻaʻano, however, ua now means was, past tense, or is now, or has become. So it's a little bit different in the translation because of the verb type, which is now in ʻaʻano. ʻaʻano verbs state the condition of something. So here's the la'ana. Okay. Ua pio ke kukui makamokulele. Okay. Pio is our ʻaʻano verb, something that's already become extinguished or deactivated. What was that something? Ke kukui, maikai, where? Makamokulele, on the airplane. Okay, so ua pio, ke kukui, makamokulele. Aye, so maikai, the light is off on the plane. So in other words, the kukui was on at some point, but is now off. Yeah, ua pio, ke kukui, makamokulele. The light is off on the plane. All right, so let's take a look at another one. Ua kahiko, kona kama'a, I kona kaikua ana. All right, so kahiko is the ʻaʻano verb. All right, so it means old. What was old? Kona kama'a, his or her shoe. I kona kaikua ana, because of his or her kaikua ana. So in the pepeke painu with ʻaʻano, it gives us the reason why something has happened. All right, and that's usually comes in the ave. I kona kaikua ana, because or due to or from his or her older sibling. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look at the unuhi. Her shoe has become old from her older sister. So these are two examples of pepeke painu ʻaʻano with actions that have been completed. Oh yeah, so let's nana. Let's take a look at these next set of examples with ʻaʻano verbs. The road is smooth from the trucks. We can say ua palaha ke ala nui ina kalaka. Now, palaha means smooth. Ke ala nui is the piko. That's what we're talking about. The road. Why? Yeah, because of what? Due to what? Ina kalaka. Yeah, the trucks. So the road is smooth from the trucks. Ua palaha ke ala nui ina kalaka. The next one is Haleakala is illuminated from the moon. Yeah. And we can say ua malama lama o Haleakala I ka mahina. Yeah. Malama lama, illuminated, is illuminated, has been illuminated. What has been illuminated? Haleakala. Yeah. O Haleakala, Haleakala crater, yeah, has been illuminated by what? I ka mahina. Yeah. I, or due to, or because of, or from the moon. Okay. Meikai. And the last one is I am happy with the car of Illinois. We can say Wahau Olio. I am happy. I have become happy. I am happy because of, yeah, the E, that E is telling us the reason why. Why? Ike ka'a of who? O Illinois. Yeah, the car belonging to Illinois. Illinois' car. So in other words, I am happy with the car of Illinois. You know, her car is awesome. So it makes me happy. Yeah. Wahau olio ike ka'a o Illinois. All right. So Ikea Manava, we're gonna take a look at how do we ho'ole. Yeah, how do we negate the pepeke painu ano using E? And it's the same thing like the last time. So again, ua pio ke kukui makamokulele, and we said that the light was off on the mokulele. Yeah, something when make the thing peel. It was on, but now it's off. All right, and to negate that, all we do is add on the word aole, aole I pio ke kukui makamokulele. Ole comes up front. The ua changes to e, and then the rest of the sentence stays the same. Ole I pio ke kukui makamokulele. Again, ua kahiko kona kama'a I kona kaikua ana. To negate that, a ole I kahiko, kona kama'a I kona kaikua'ana. So again, all we're doing is adding the word a ole followed by I, and then the rest of the sentence stays the same. Ua kahiko, a ole I kahiko. Yeah. Ua pio, a ole I pio. And that E tells us that, oh, an action did not take place. Something did not happen. A ole I pio, a ole I kahiko. Okay, so now we're taking a look at the previous sentences and we're just negating them. All right, so ua palaha ke ala nui ina kalaka. To negate that statement, we just need to say a ole I palaha ke ala nui ina kalaka. Yeah, the road is not smooth because of the trucks or from the trucks. Maikai. The next one is ua malama lama o halea kala ika mahina. Halea kala was illuminated by the moon. Yeah, by the moon, because of the moon, from the moon. To negate that, we just add on the word aole. Ua changes to aole I malama lama o halea kala ika mahina. Haleakala was not illuminated by the moon or because of the moon or from the moon. Okay, and the final one, remember, Uahau Leo, Ike Ka'a o Lilinoi. I'm happy because of Lilinoi's car. Lilinoi's car makes me happy. And again, we're going to negate that. But because the pico of the sentence is au, yeah, it's a papani, it will follow aole. Okay, so Uahau Leo, ʻaʻole au I hauʻoli. I am not happy. Lily Noi's car doesn't make me happy. Once again, ʻaʻole I is indicating that the action was not completed. Oh yeah, so we'll continue to learn more about these markers and how they affect the tense of a sentence, whether it's an habitual action that happens or if it takes place in the past, if it's a completed action, or if it's being done right now at this present moment, or if it's something that will happen in the future. Ai no leila mahalo ki hui ana, malama pono a hui ho ai ke kahi haʻawina. Aloha.